What's going on, guys? I'm going to be talking about how I am thriving compared to how I was just simply living over there in that expensive place they call Southern California. So welcome back. I want to break down for you the exact numbers on how what I was doing back then and then kind of like where I'm at now. So 2017, 18, 19, 20, I made it between 65 and 85,000 per year. Obviously with the inflation much higher now, those numbers don't work anymore. But I was stretching my time in between three jobs, service industry jobs, as a professional waiter. Now, how this changed was I was going to college. I acquired over 300 college credits while I was working these three jobs. But I found that once I was done with college, which I could have been done with college much earlier, but for some reason stuck around, and the job that I would have gotten paid was not much more than 85 grand a year. So it was a losing mathematical formula, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, I wanted to go into biological forensics, and it's like, dude, you're gonna make the same amount you're making doing this, and you're not even enjoying your life. You're literally living in an apartment, and you have a car payment, and you're barely able to put $1,500 into investments. So I already knew that that wasn't going to work. So what I did was I dropped out of college. Okay, after being in there for 8 years, dropped out of college, started grinding even harder. I found a cheaper place to live in Irvine, and I was able to build up a sizable portfolio, like an investment portfolio, over the course of about six years. So then COVID hit, obviously. We all kind of reevaluated what we were doing, and I found out that trajectory, that path that I was living on, was set to doom. It was set for failure, and I would never be satisfied working endless hours to live. I mean, that just wasn't what I was trying to do. So I pivoted again. I ended up going into the real estate business, getting my real estate license, doing real estate sales for about 2 years. And then more recent times, I have been handling rentals on the San Diego side, as well as commercial real estate over the last 3 years, 3.5 years. And I recently, in the last year, picked up a service industry job at a very successful restaurant in San Diego where, I enjoy working part-time. So that's kind of my current formula. But really, the best part about all these things, all these numbers that I'm telling you, is that now I'm able to do exactly what I want when I want to do it. I'm able to work on anything that I want to work on. I'm able to go at my own pace. There's not that constant burden of you got to make $6,000 a month just to survive, just to have the life that I'm able to live now. The $6,000 I'm able to make now is now not required to go towards, a $3,500 a month apartment, a $1,500 a month food budget. I got two people. So I thought about that today, and I'm thinking, why not inspire people out there that are thinking about the same thing? And you got to ask yourself, you really got to ask yourself, what is it that you want to do really? Like, what is it you really want to do? Some people like to do a lot of things. Some people like to move down here to Tijuana, go to the beach every day with a 6-pack of beer and accomplish nothing. That's not something I'm interested in doing. I'm interested in pursuing my endeavors, pressing forward at 100%, working on my physical and personal goals. I've been going to the gym every day this week for an hour a day, doing 20 minutes of cycling, 45-minute workout, an hour of cold plunge, sauna and steam room, and jacuzzi. That's what I want to do, really. That's actually what I want to do, and make really cool YouTube videos that cater to geo arbitrage, that allow people to exploit the currency difference and maximize their financial bottom line. I didn't move to Mexico to make less and be poor living in Mexico. I moved down here to maximize the currency difference through arbitrage and utilize that money to build a bigger cryptocurrency portfolio. And even if now that I'm jumping back into real estate sales transactions, I still am going to stay down here for the time being because I don't want to spend unnecessary costs on renting a place. Well, dude, you got to buy a place. Dude, sorry, I don't want to buy a place anywhere in California where the median sales home price is $1 million. That means when I retire, I still got to pay tax every year on that million plus, whatever it's appreciated. I'm literally spending $25,000 a year on just taxes. No thanks, man. I am not interested. I will find somewhere else to own in the United States that doesn't require that high property tax rate. Now, am I still able to see what it is that I'm shooting for? Yeah, I am. I'm able to see that now. Why? Because I'm able to take time to see it. Over there, man, I was running around constantly, running, working 2-3 restaurant jobs, selling homes on the weekend, selling real estate on the weekends, doing open houses on my days off, helping people with rentals. I had no time to even take a breath, man. And that's probably why I felt like shit most of the time. I wasn't able to really work out. A workout for me was squeezing a 30-minute sauna in between my 2 restaurant jobs. That wasn't something I was interested in doing. Oh man, you just gotta get a real career. You just gotta make real money. Dude, I made $121,000 in 2021, and I made close to the same amount in 2022, just doing real estate. And I can tell you, my investment portfolio was still pretty minimal because that was after COVID, that was after the inflation, that was after all these other living costs skyrocketed 100 to 200%. So I had to cut my living costs down to 300%. That was the only way I was going to get ahead. If not, I was going to be a victim to what everybody is talking about on the internet. They don't have any money because the wages haven't kept up with inflation. The wages have not been able to exceed the rate of inflation. Therefore, you have the exact same cost, but you have a shittier lifestyle because everything costs more. It doesn't make any sense, man. Your living costs should be, in my opinion, negligible. Like my living cost now is literally negligible. People, like when I was 15 years ago and had roommates, like when rent was coming due, it was like this big thing. It's like, okay, rent's coming, be prepared. Now it's like, dude, I can pay my rent with a day's work from a part-time restaurant job that I have. And I can spend all that other time and energy building out this channel, going to a cold plunge on a Wednesday, going to a gym, a sauna, eating at a local restaurant, spending time learning a new skill, spending time prospecting new real estate clients on the for sale by owner side of stuff. There's tons of things I can be doing, and I do all of those things because I have the time to do them. So I guess the moral of the story is think about what it is that you really want to do. Like, what do you really want to do? And if you're not doing that, man, do something else. Find a way to do something else, because if you're doing something day in and day out that you do not want to do, that shit's going to wear on you, and it's going to make you not want to do really anything because you're caught in this cycle of servitude. And it sucks. I mean, it's that simple. It sucks. And I've been there. So do the things you want to do every single second of every single day. If you're not living. You're just surviving. That's all I got, guys. I'll see you in the next one.